Okay, enough of that crap. Mondays with Matt. It's super effective. Sup, bros, and welcome to another Mondays with Matt. Well, I'm recording it fairly early today, as you can see from the light from the room, and I've got my 3DS here. That is because today's Mondays with Matt will be a little bit more reviewing than anything else, because I have just, like, 5 seconds ago made it through the second battle with the Elite Four on a Pokemon X, which I enjoyed doing. And my Pokemon team is coming along pretty nicely. Good soundtrack as well, that's what I like about it. So, how much have I enjoyed the game? Well, the storyline's solid. The game itself is really fun. I'm enjoying the new Pokemon. A few of them are a little uncreative. But in general, I enjoy the game because I get to see, like, new Pokemon that have expanded from the previous version. Which brings me straight on to Mega Evolutions. Now, I know a lot of people heard about this before release, and I got told pretty much immediately about it, because I'm subscribed to a lot of Pokemon people on YouTube. So, I was interested in this from the start. So, you've got several different Mega Evolutions, and I'm hoping that they're going to bring more. One little thing that I can complain about is the fact that they don't have Mega Evolutions for the starters in the actual game. I mean, they've got them for the old starters, which is good, but I'd like my new Pokemon to have like an Ultimate Evolution. Sorry, again, it's having a strike. I hope that this isn't going to affect the video, but it probably will. So what am I going to talk about today? Other than this little review that I'm going to do, just quick, I'm going to fill you in. I'm going to do the review, and then I'm going to tell you Matt's top 10 favourite Pokemon, in my opinion. I'm not doing it over facts, I'm just saying which I prefer. And, what else can I do? I think that might actually get me up to a fair amount of time. And I'm back. Back to reviewing. Another thing that I really enjoyed was the implementation of a huge team. It's really cool that you have... I'm trying not to spoil anything, but it's really cool the amount of people that you get to travel with and you get to meet along the way. It's pretty interesting. Plus, the obvious implementation of returning the short kid. Can't remember his name, but that was hilarious. That's kind of like a fan service, I assume. So, and then another thing that really piqued my interest was the ending. I'm not going to say anything but other than how touching it was. And plus the soundtrack was made a lot more interesting to me at the end. And you'll find out what I mean if you watch through the credits, and I don't think there's a way to skip them. So, if you get the game, you'll know what I mean. So, I rate that out of 10. And a 9. I'll give it a 9 because it's not better than it's a generation thing, The fact is, Emerald was the first Pokemon I ever played, and that was amazing. No two ways about it. I never got... Well, actually, I did get to play a little bit of Red, but I never completed it because it was on my cousin's Game Boy Color, I think. So that one didn't really herald much for me, and I keep forgetting that I played it. So then Emerald came along and I got that, and it was incredible, and I really enjoyed it. And the storyline in that was amazing, and it was just so much fun to play. So in comparison, it's really hard to compare a game along an iteration, because Pokemon X is not better than Emerald. I'm sorry, it just isn't. I mean, they're running out of ideas, to be honest. Like, I hope they don't bring out, like, an X squared. Don't steal that. That's my idea. I deserve credit for that. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for, Matt's top 10 favourite Pokemon of any game. So starting off at number 10, and don't judge me for this, but Zigzagoon. Put down your pitchforks and torches. Let me explain. So, I started off in Emerald, as I've said, and that was kind of a huge turning stone because I'd never played Pokemon before that. But a friend at school showed me it, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is amazing! I want this." So I got a Game Boy, got it, and since then I've just been a Pokemon player. I missed out Pokemon Black. Just don't know why, but I will end up getting it because now that I've completed Pokemon X, that's the next one I want to get. It sounds a bit weird, but anyway, moving on. Moving back to it, Zigzagoon was the first Pokemon I ever caught, and I bet that each of you remember the first Pokemon you ever caught, and Zigzagoon was just mine. You know, I mean, I remember the battle. Me and I think it, me and my Pokemon, we tackled him a couple of times through a normal Pokeball, and that was it. You know, he was in my team. No two ways about it. I mean, no, I think it was Mudkip. Yeah, I think it was Mudkip that shows. Yeah, Mudkip. So that's number 10. You know, my first Pokemon ever. Well, not including the star, but this is the first one I caught. So number 9, Dragonite. This Pokemon has a special place because I spent so long trying to find it. Because I didn't realise that you couldn't find it in its form and you had to evolve it. So I spent my whole time on Emerald trying to figure out how to get it, where it would be. I kept checking my Pokedex to see where it appears. It didn't, and I was stressed. I was going insane until I found a Dragonite. Is it Dragonite or is it Dragonair? No, I'm an idiot. All right, I'm gonna have to. Sorry about that. It's a Dratini. Dratini. That's it. Dratini. So I found a Dratini, and I was like, it's not a very good Pokemon, but I'll catch it anyway because I was trying to fill up my Pokedex. So I did, and then I evolved it. You know, because at this point, I think what happened is I caught it, and I had a spare space in my team, and I didn't realise, and I'd lost all the rest of my Pokemon, so I just sent it out, and it was not bad, not bad. You know, it fought a few battles. It evolved into Dragonair, and I just thought this is a pretty badass Pokemon. It looks pretty cool. So I kept it out, and I didn't realise, at this point I had no idea it was going to evolve. So it evolved into Dragonite, and you can imagine my face, I went insane. I started screaming and running around the house, and there you go, and that's how I had it. And then, he was the first Pokemon that I taught. No, it was, and then I taught Fly to him, and I've kept him in my party ever since in Emerald. I mean, I could go back to it now, and it's... Wait, no. No. Sad thing is, he's now in my Platinum. And my friend Levi has my Platinum, so I miss him. Wherever you are, Dragonite, I miss you. Number 8, Charizard. I know a lot of you think, oh my god, how can you rank Charizard so low? It's because I could never freaking get him. I'll explain why. Well, you can probably guess why, because you can only get him for a starter, and I'll expand on that later. So, but he is such a badass Pokemon. He's a dragon. He's like Dragonite, except he's a lot rarer. Well, no, he isn't. Well, he's about the same rareness, but Charizard's just badass. And plus, the Mega Evolution put him over the top of Dragonite, unless there is a Dragonite Mega Evolution that I haven't actually found yet. But if there is, just let me know in the comments. So Charizard, Mega Evolution made him 10 times as badass. And so he made my list at number 8. Number 7, Rayquaza. This, as I've said, I started off in Emerald, so this was the first legendary Pokemon I ever caught. I don't think I caught Kyogre. I think I killed him the first time I played. Because I didn't understand. I was like, oh my god, what the hell is this? Why is this crap happening? So yeah, I killed Kyogre and didn't save. But then I realised, oh my god, this just happened again. He'll never appear again. So I'll just and then I used my Master Ball, and that was it. Number 6, Mewtwo. This is for a few reasons. First, he's been in every game, I think, hasn't he? Correct me if I'm wrong. But Mewtwo signifies my first ever Pokemon movie, the first movie I ever watched. Well, and then he had a second one, and I watched that as well. But that movie was incredible. It was dramatic. It was cool. There were clones everywhere. It was all badass Charizard fighting badass Charizard. Charizard flying, falling from the sky, exploding. All sorts of different crap that made the movie 10 times better than anything else I've ever seen. And at this point, I've barely seen it. Well, I've seen the first season of Pokemon, the anime, and that was it. And I just got into Pokemon from that. So, and also, very recently, I actually on Salt and X, I found him, and he looked badass. And I'll expand on his badassness later. But through a glitch in my game, I managed to catch him with a Pokeball. No kidding. I literally threw it, and if you haven't played Pokemon before, it usually the ball usually spins 3 times, and then stars come out, and that means you've got it. But this time it was weird. It's rotated once, and then stars came out, and I was like, sweet. So I caught it, and this same thing happened for the cover legendary on Pokemon X. And Noah Murphy can verify this because it happened. He was watching, so I'm not lying or anything. And this happened. I was like, "Holy crap! I've just caught it so easily." So that's Mewtwo. It's generally also got Mega Evolution. So badass explosion. Next is number 5, Mudkip. Mudkip, so cute, and my first starter ever. There's no two ways about it. It signified a lot for me, especially Swampert, when I eventually evolved into that. He's been following me throughout every game. When's it going to be a Swampert-ite? Or Swampite? I don't know, I don't care what it's called, but I want it! Because now I have, now I'm going to actually use the Pal Park to get my Swampert in there. So there you go, that's my first star. And number 4, Sandile. For one reason only. Well, 2 reasons if you count. I'd say 2 actually. First reason, it's the cutest damn thing. Have you seen it? It's like a little tiny thing. I don't know. Maybe I'll put a little picture in the corners as a screen. I don't know. We'll see how I do it. But it's cutest. And just recently on Pokemon X, I spent so long trying to find it. I had to smash boulders. I had to stand on stuff, and then I eventually caught it with a quick ball. Took it to the Elite Four, and I didn't even know it evolved. God, my Pokemon knowledge is very low, and I didn't even know what generation it was from. So, badass Pokemon there. Number 3, Pidgey. No, don't hate me again. But it's a fun memories because it's the first Pokemon that I taught Fly to. I think it is anyway, and it's just so cute, isn't it? I mean, and Pidgeot, badass as hell. I mean, every Pokemon game. And even in Pixelmon, I had to get a Pidgeot. So, that's just where it started, I think it was my second Pokemon I ever caught. And number 2... Oh, wait. Before I say this. Number 2 and number 1 are tied. With my 2 favourite Pokemon ever. But I'm leaning towards... I'll explain later. So, what is the tie? The tie between Bulbasaur and Lucario. Yeah? The 2 badass Pokemon. Let me start off with Lucario. Lucario is just generally badass with the move Aura Sphere. How awesome is that move? I don't know many Pokemon that can learn that. But then the movie. If you haven't seen the movie, it's so cool, so dramatic, well done all around, and just awesome. So if you haven't seen the movie, I definitely recommend you going and seeing it because it's. I don't want to spoil anything, but it's so cool! Such a great ending! Such a sad ending. But so awesome at the same time. And on to Bulbasaur. Bulbasaur was such a great Pokemon. I just love it. There's no explanation. Just amazing. The only reason that would drag it down to not be number 1, and why I'd put Lucario ahead of it, because of Venusaur. I hate Venusaur. So bad. If I could keep Bulbasaur forever and get him level 100 and the stat wouldn't change, I would never have a Venusaur. I would completely eradicate the Venusaur population. But I can't do that, so... Sucks. So that's my top 10. That Bulbasaur thing's put me in a depression.